Hey, how you doing? Duff here, and I have another tech review for you. GearBest sent me this laser engraver. I'm not sure how you pronounce that company name. NEJE? I'm not sure. But it's a NEJE, I'm sorry, DK-8KZ laser engraver. It's a 1,000 milliwatt laser, and as you can see, you may or may not be able to see that right now. I actually have it on, and there's a little purple dot in the middle of it, which is the laser. So I've been messing around with this a little bit. I always thought laser engravers were sort of interesting, so I wanted to take a look at this one. In the box, you get the engraver. There's really no assembly required. You just have to remove the packing material. Nothing really to put together. You get the software. On here, there's a website for the company that produces this. The website is trusfer.com, trusfer.com. I recommend going on there and getting the latest and greatest updated drivers. The drivers for this do work for Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 10. But I did have a problem with the version that came on the CD, and I downloaded the new version and got it working. Also in the box you have a manual, and as you can imagine, it's not a very fancy manual, but it tells you what you need to know. One thing backing up, if you do have Windows 7, you're going to have to be installing a .NET framework, which this walks you through the installation process of the software itself. Will also remind you that you need to get the appropriate version of Microsoft.NET. You get like a silicone sticky pad. You get various test materials that you can print on. It's cardboard, some regular cardboard, some thicker, almost like balsa wood, and even some thicker pieces of wood. I believe I read that the thickest object that you can engrave on is 7 centimeters. It can't be any thicker than 7 centimeters. Alright, so like I said, I'm totally new to engraving, laser engraving, so I didn't really know what to expect. The software that you can see here, okay, this is one of the included images that comes with the software. I'm going to delete this, clear the image. The software is not all that impressive. It gets the job done. You'll see right now I'm connected to the laser. Okay, I'm going to center it. I'm going to do a rectangle. And you can see the way that it moves, what it sounds like as it's printing. It's kind of similar. I'll actually start to print for you in a little bit here. We'll shut this thing up. Okay. So basically, the way that the software works is once you get the drivers installed and you start it up, you're presented with a screen like this, and you can basically do one of two things. You can import an image, like JPEG images work fine, and you can also insert text. So right here I have my Duff 3D typed out here, and you hit the insert button, and I already picked the font type, and you just stick it on the screen, and there you go. That's the way you insert text into your image. If you want to insert a picture, you drag it over into the work screen. It always asks you which image. I'm not really sure what the difference is here. They look the same to me. Alright, now I got my image there. The build size of the platform is only 38 millimeters by 38 millimeters, so it's not big. That's one of the negatives as far as I'm concerned. You can't do a real big thing. And these images, these test images that they include with the software are 490 pixels by 490 pixels. So if you're doing an image, you want to try to shoot for that size. I tried to do a couple that were less than that, and the image was very, very small. I did do my Duff 3D logo. Okay, and again, it wasn't as big as I would like it to be. But a full-size image, let's see, do I have it? I don't have it in here. But even a full-size image isn't all that big. So, like I said, the max size you'll get out of this is 38 by 38 millimeters, so not big. As far as once you have the image loaded here, you send the image to the machine. You'll see there's a little progress bar going across here. Okay, now What it's doing there, I believe, is it traces how big the image is going to be on your print. And the reason it does that is so you can align things properly. Now there's two ways that you can put stuff on this platform. One is via rubber band. You see right there, there's two rubber bands. There's a notch here and here, and there's also notches here and here and here and here. So you can align the rubber bands either way, and you can pin stuff down that way. The other option is to use this silicone pad. If you laid it on here, it's very sticky, so if you, let's say you had a phone case or something that you couldn't really rubber band down easily, if you put that pad on the surface, that will hold it still as well. The one thing you do have to keep in mind also when you're using this is that little purple dot, which is the laser, needs to be focused and as small as possible. Otherwise you're not going to get a quality cut. You need to have that focused, and the way you focus it is there's a little knob here around the lens, like a focusing lens basically, that you just turn until that dot gets small and not blurry. Let's see what else. As far as I'm going to load up some cardboard here. Demonstration of what it sounds like, what it looks like when it's printing. Alright, so okay, now I'm adjusting the center using the software so it's more centered, my image. And you know what, I wrote this. If I'm going to do something, I don't really like this image. Let's clear this. I'm going to find something that looks a little bit more interesting to me. Okay, like the Spider-Man logo. That's cool, right? Do that. Okay, there we go. And it would help if I had it on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to do the Spider-Man logo. Oh, one other important thing that they do include here are glasses to protect your eyes from the laser. When it's burning, it's very bright, and there's always the possibility that if you look at it wrong or if it bounces off of an object, hits you in the eye, you could do some serious damage. So you really are supposed to be wearing these glasses before you look at it. Okay, so now let's just see, am I missing anything else? Oh, well, as far as the surfaces that you can print on, one of the most common questions, it seems, is can I engrave on metal? You know, because people want to like engrave jewelry or something like that. The answer is no. You cannot do that with a laser engraver. You would need a conventional mechanical engraver to do that kind of stuff. This will work on cardboard, paper, rubber, wood, leather. Let's see what else. Bamboo, it mentions bamboo. So yeah, it'll work on all those things, but it will not work on metal. Okay, so now I got my Spider-Man logo loaded up here. I'm going to send this image to the machine. Okay, so it's showing me what it's going to trace. Now, there's two ways you can start this. Right on the software, you can hit the start button and it'll start the process. The other way you can do it is once the image is downloaded to the machine, you can remove the PC from the equation and just use this red button to print or to start the engraving process. If you hit the button once, it shows an outline of what you're going to engrave. Let's test that. Okay, that shows you what it's going to look like. If I would hit it a second time, it would actually start the engraving process, and if I hit it a third time, it will pause it. So that red button serves three purposes. And one thing just to back up that I didn't talk about was, as far as the way this thing is powered, you have your USB cable that runs to the PC, but then the power cable is also a USB cord, which you can use like one of those AC to USB cord adapters to power it. I actually just have it plugged into another open USB port on my laptop, so I'm powering this by my laptop. So just FYI, it doesn't have a conventional AC adapter. You have to power it in one of those two ways. So okay, so at this point we should be ready to go. I'm going to put on my glasses and we're going to start this, and you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, you'll see that what happens is the intensity of the light increases, and it just starts hopping back and forth, burning those spots. You can control how many passes it does in the software. You can have it like carve a surface multiple times. Like if you have something that's more difficult to engrave, you may want it to go over the object twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever. There's no limit to that. But in all my test prints, I've only done single passes and they turned out okay. But again, I've only printed on cardboard or paper. Okay, yeah, it is starting. These are so dark, it's hard to see what the hell's going on and all, really. But it's okay. So I'm just going to talk to the camera and not look at that. But yeah, that's basically all there is to getting a print going. Now, like I said, I haven't tried to mess around with doing something like a phone case. I've been trying to come up with an idea of something that this would be cool for. Cindy had the idea of using it to like make little tags that she could attach to some of her stuff that she makes. You know, some of the stuff that I 3D print that she paints, or some of the clothing stuff that she works on, or the cameo work. Maybe making labels of that for that, possibly. So yeah, so we're still trying to think about possible uses in that regard, but it is interesting, and it certainly is not an expensive accessory. I think right now I saw on GearBest that this was selling for like $60, something like that. So it's a very cheap little thing to play with, and depending on your needs, it may be just what you need. There are a lot of good reviews on it, and it's certainly interesting. Not as interesting as 3D printing, but as far as the quality of the unit, I haven't had any problems. Seems to work fine. Really, the only negative, or the only negatives that I would list is that the build volume is kind of small. You know, a 38mm square does not give you a lot of flexibility. But really, other than that, I did not have anything negative to say about it. So I will include a link to this product on the GearBest site below if you want to check it out, see what you think. And yeah, if you're interested in laser engraving, this is a cheap and economical way to go. 1,000 milliwatt laser is relatively powerful, and for the money, I think it's a decent deal. So hopefully you found this video interesting. If so, give it a quick thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment below. I'm always eager to hear feedback, improvements, suggestions, whatever. It's all good. So until next time, Duffman out. I'm not sure if you can see from this angle, but like as it's printing the design, it crawls down the page. Anything in red is printed, and the black is unprinted. So as you can tell, it goes pretty fast.